Let's take a look at what to expect for the flying geese square. When we look at our pattern, and hopefully you've printed yours, it says to cast on 34 with color number 503 gift, but remember that was the cotton, and I'm choosing to work in the Carlton, so I'm going to use a lighter color of the Carlton this month. And then it says to work one row on those 34 cast on stitches of purl, so one row of purl stitches, and then you'll repeat chart, the whole chart, 3 times. So it's not repeat the row, but repeat the chart. And you'll notice that I haven't marked any pattern repeats on the chart this time. So you'll just start with the first stitch and work your way all the way across the row. You'll see some cables that are familiar, and you'll see some cables that are not. We're going to be using 1/1 right crosses, 1/1 left crosses, cable 4 rights, and cable 4 lefts. Each of these cables is just as simple to work as last month. You'll simply swap the position of the stitches as indicated on the chart. And if you're having trouble remembering which way to go, don't forget that you have a fantastic key that describes how to do each one of those stitches. So you can just go to your key and look that up. I'm going to go ahead and cast on my 34 stitches and work one row. Then I will show you how to work the first row of the pattern. And then I will come back and show you what the first finished repeat looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and cast on and work my first row, and then I'll be back with you. So now that I have cast on and purled that first row, I'm ready to work the first row of the chart. So I'm going to slip that first stitch, knit 2, and then we're going to do a 1/1 right cross, a 1/1 left cross, purl 2, knit 4, do a cable 4 right and a cable 4 left, knit 4, purl 2, repeat that 1/1 right cross and the 1/1 left cross, and then knit 3 to finish out our row. So I'm going to go ahead and just slip that first stitch, knit the next 2, and then remember to do that 1/1 right cross cable. All you're doing is switching the position of these 2 stitches. Just like that. So all I did was take the stitch on the left and move it around so that it was on the right. Then you'll go ahead and knit those 2 stitches. Now we're going to do it to the left, so we're going to left cross this cable. And just go ahead and knit both of those stitches. Oops, there we go. And then I'm going to purl 2 stitches, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to do a cable 4 right. So we're going to take those 4 stitches, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to pick up 2 stitches, and we are going to take them off that needle, but pinch the stitches in the back. So again, if you need to use a cable needle, go ahead, but I like to cable without a cable needle. So all I'm going to do is pop those stitches off, put them back on my left hand needle, and then go ahead and put the 2 stitches that I moved in front onto that left hand needle, and then I'm going to knit 1, 2, oops, that happens, just reorient, 3, and 4. And now we've gone ahead and we've moved the position of those stitches, and we've moved 2 stitches from the left to the right side. And all that does is it twists the base of that cable. Now when we look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing, but this time it has to point to the left. So we'll go ahead and we're going to insert the tip of that needle behind these 2 stitches. I'm going to move those 2 stitches over, put these 2 stitches back on. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches knit. So there we have a right and a left leaning cable. You can't see too much of it yet, but as soon as I do the back side row, you'll be able to see that very well. Then we're going to go ahead and knit 1, 2, 3, 4, purl 2 stitches, and then it's time to do our 1 over 1 right cross and our 1 over 1 left cross. If you're having trouble with your cables, go back to August's Blanket Along and watch one more time how to do these cables without a cable needle, and watch my explanation for knowing right and left crosses. So now we did a right cross, we're doing a left cross, and then knit 1, 2, and 3. So remember that this is a skill building project and that each skill that you learn can be reviewed in previous months. And now that I've done that first row, I'm going to go ahead and work the second row, and then I will show you the third row. So I'm ready to do row 3 now, and we're going to do that by slipping 1, knitting 2, and then we're going to do a left cross, a 1 over 1 left cross, then the 1 over 1 right cross. So we're actually going to be taking our stitches back and forth so that it makes this cute sort of an open work cable that goes all the way up. And then in the center, we'll keep working our cables out to make our flying geese. So once we have worked the first 3 stitches by slipping in 1 and knitting 2, it's time to work that 1 over 1 left cross cable. So remember, last time we went to the right, this time we're going to go to the left. So I'll insert the tip of my needle under the stitch that's to the left. I will pinch the base of the stitch to the right and pull them both off. I'll reinsert my needle tip from the left into that stitch and then back into this stitch, and then I will go ahead and knit 1 and 2. Now this time we're going to do a right cross cable versus the left cross cable. So we're going to insert that needle tip under that left hand stitch in the front this time. We're going to pinch and move both stitches off the needle, and then I'm going to insert the needle tip, the left needle tip, back into the first stitch and the second stitch, and then knit both again. Then we're going to purl 2 stitches, and then we will knit 2 stitches, knit 1, knit 2, and now we are going to move those stitches for the center cable again. So we're going to pick up the 2 stitches here by inserting our needle tip into the front, because this is again a right crossing cable. So this is a cable 4 to the right. We're going to pinch the base of the first 2 stitches so that when we pull them off of the needle, they don't wiggle away, and then we're just going to insert that tip back into those 2 stitches, cross the 2 left stitches over, and make them our 2 right stitches. And then you'll go ahead and knit all 4 of those stitches again. Then we're going to knit 4 more in the center. So you can start to see how that cable is crossing. And we need to do the same thing on this side. We need to take these 2 stitches to the left, So you'll insert the tip of your needle under the 2 stitches to the left, grab the base of the 2 stitches to the right, insert your needle tip back into those stitches, and once more knit all 4 of those stitches. Then we will knit 2, purl 2, and here we are again. Remember, we did that right cross, left cross on the previous row. This time we're going to do a left cross, right cross. So our stitch has to point to the left, so we'll insert our needle tip into that second stitch in the back, grab the base of the first stitch and switch their position, knit both of those stitches. Then we're going to reverse that work. Remember to go to the right, knit both stitches, and then knit the last 3 stitches of the row. Now we can just start to see our pattern emerge. So I'm going to finish this off and then show it to you all. 1 full pattern repeat, and remember we'll be doing 3 full pattern repeats. So we'll start with row 1, work our way across, row 2, all the way up to row 12, and we'll repeat that 3 times before we work 1 more row in knit and then bind off. I finished the first repeat for the flying geese square, and you can really see those cables start to pop. As you continue to work your square, remember that you will repeat that chart 3 total times. Don't forget the extra row of knitting before you bind off. And I hope that you love the way that the cables pop for you and your square too. Let's go ahead and move on to our second square for the month. That is the Paitsu square. I know it's really hard to see all of that fantastic texture in our Paitsu square this month because I did it in a dark color. So let me go ahead and explain about Paitsu, and we'll work it in a lighter color.